So this is going to be another trade recap. Made around $185 with this trade on my birthday. It's my TP over here, my SL right there. Traded during the NY New York. Traded during the New York session at kill zone after the 9:30 open, just waiting for price to play out. And my areas of liquidity were around these highs. This is a late trade, so just saying that this trade was not from today, but from a couple of days ago. But I'm gonna be uploading those recaps soon. So we had liquidity over here, high time frame liquidity at these like highs over here. London was sweat. Got these Asia lows right here, and these PDL, not PDL, but these significant lows right here. Previous day low was right there for this day, as well as the weekly opening gap, and these equal highs right here, plus there as well. So yeah, but we're not gonna get into it. The target I was looking for was here, as you can see. Ignore that. Up and down, these were like the main entry points of liquidity. This order block as well was this high time frame order block as well was a good draw, but that's not what we're looking at right now. And my bias that day was bullish, aiming for these highs, aiming for this order block and this FEG as well as these highs as well. But obviously we never got there. Obviously during start of open we had this like opening gap right here. Was a good draw of liquidity. Price for Asia, we ran up, code out here, we swept these lows and plus the gap as well, creating an order block, which was a failed order block, and we tapped into here, which is a breaker block, like a structure shift up here towards Asia highs and buy side liquidity. Then at like around London, we started like later around pre-market, we kind of started like consolidating, accumulating right here, not much until like around 8:30ish. 8:30 we saw obviously a lot of movements as there's volatility and volume swooping these overnight London highs or early morning London highs, depends what you say. Come down here, then at market NY open, we just dump. We had a market dump, taking out these lows and this high time frame order block, and as well as this going into this fair value gap as well. And so at around 10, which is the time I trade, I was like, okay, let me see the market. Let's see what I can do. I was going to initially go for these shorts, but we saw a reversal and we saw a displacement up. I'm like, okay, there's a good chance that it could go to these highs that I initially attended during pre-market before this dump, which kind of swayed my bias a little bit. Broke this 1 hour break of structure, but I saw that we were still bullish technically. So, and there was these displacements. So I was my confidence on it was that it was still going to keep going down was weak, and that my initial bias was bearish because we were bullish throughout the week, especially on high time frame. My bet was on there. So after we went to this low, we broke structure. We tapped into this 5-minute imbalance right here, and that's where I put my sell limit. I think it was I believe it was one contract. Putting my SL, I believe around here. At this low, and the end of the FEG. And as soon as it tapped here, obviously it went up and up, and around 11 or 12, price started getting weak. I can tell around here, and I actually closed off at the perfect time. I was even looking at this trade, to be honest. I was in it, but I wasn't looking at this trade, to be honest. I was in the middle of door dashing. So I closed early, and as soon as I closed early, it started kind of like accumulating, then dumping into this FEG. Retest this, couldn't break structure, and so we obviously, went back down here, and the story. So I was actually driving when we hit this. So we didn't hit full TP. My original TP was going to be around here, around these almost equal highs, but saw price getting weak, so I just closed the trade, and went over door dashing too. So that was a good trade, I guess. We did make money. We are up for the month, and this is the trade that made me. The trade that kind of like ended off the month on a green month, so it was really good. I guess one takeaway is that I shouldn't really. I guess this trade was overall good. I guess my only takeaway is that this. Now looking back, this wasn't. Well, I mean, I really had no control. There was hardly any displacement. Maybe on the 1 minute. I only really mainly look at the 5 and 1 minute for entries, but mainly the 5 minute. It's hardly any we had this. I guess if you guys remembered. I don't know who took trades over there, but. There was the only strong point of an inbound of a bullish liquidity void, but other than that, there was not really much. We look at if anything, we saw a lot of sellers coming in, these big red candles with no wicks. That means sellers are getting strong, and obviously over here, throughout at around around 1 o'clock, when a little after lunchtime, we saw a displacement and break of structure towards these lows, and it's into this FEG. So someone could have taken a trade there, and there was another one right here, and so. That's that. Also, probably another takeaway is maybe not kind of manage my trades in the middle of a highway. I was at a stoplight entering a highway. I guess that wasn't ideal, but it seemed like it played out very well because I closed out at the exact time when it was getting weak at almost the highest point, which is lucky. I mean, I guess, but I guess this was a high probability silver bullet model, ICT silver bullet setup. So the next recap will be uploaded today or tomorrow, but I'm gonna try to upload it today and be more consistent, and we're gonna see what followed after this market session, session, and what did price do overnight prior to this at Friday at January 23rd, after the January 22nd price action movement during kill zone, which was coincidentally my birthday. We won on my birthday and ended on a green month. So see you later.